And now, a word from our sponsors. This episode is sponsored by Samaj Music Group, a Louisiana-based independent record label bringing to you all original music with that Louisiana sound. Their genre includes rap, R&B, hip-hop, funk, and pop. To get a feel for their sound and featured artists added to your playlist, be sure to go follow them on Instagram at Samaj Music Group and Facebook for updates and up-and-coming projects today. Samaj Music Group. Strategic Peoples, a Louisiana-based music production team specializing in audio, visuals, and media. This group is also well diverse and can get to work on your next up-and-coming album projects. Be sure to check out strategicpeoples.com today and follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Strategic Peoples. For anything music, think Strategic Peoples. You're listening to One Sound, One Scene podcast, a Strategic Peoples production, where we highlight and promote entrepreneurs, startup businesses, independent music, and creators while offering information and inspiration on topics everyone can relate to. Thanks for tuning in to One Sound, One Scene, representing the 337, the Flatlands of Lafayette, Louisiana. It's your girl, Lane Marie.
And your girl, Daisha Nicole.
Be sure to go to our website at onesoundonescene.buzzsprout.com on your mobile or web device. Hit the subscribe button in the top right-hand corner of the screen to get updates on new episodes. You can also subscribe on YouTube at One Sound, One Scene. Be sure to hit the bell for notification for our up-and-coming shows and to catch up on the past episodes. We have a special guest joining us today. She's an author, serial entrepreneur, real estate developer, mother, wife, and my personal mentor, broker, and friend. I would like to welcome to the show Miss Terrica Lynn Smith. How you doing today, lady?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We are super pumped, excited about having you on today's show.
Awesome. Thanks for having
So I'm
me.
going to jump right into the questions that we have for you today. We want to know, who is Terrica Lynn Smith, the resilient underdog?
Well, Terrica Lynn Smith, the resilient underdog, it really stands for truth. And always remaining true to yourself has been something important to me. And break it down, true as in TRU means the resilient underdog. And it keeps me going through the hardest of times.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in the midst of going through so many hurdles in life, I realized how resilient I become to a lot of things. And that's kind of how the resilient underdog story was born.
Wow, that's amazing. So let's rewind the tape back to 2005, coming from New Orleans with nothing after Katrina. I know your mind instantly went into survival mode. So let's talk about that
Mhm.
process and what you did to survive.
So Katrina was a very devastating point in time in my life and a lot of other lives as well. Over 1,000 lives were lost during that time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I find that during Katrina, it brought out a lot of things that you wouldn't normally realize about yourself, like being trapped in the city. You have no clue what you'll do to survive, right? A lot of
Right.
people talk about what they may do or what they could do or anything, but until you trapped in that reality, you really have no clue. And so being in a city where people are dying and things are on fire, military with guns and people stealing and robbing you, and it was a catastrophe,
Mm-hmm.
and that was my aha moment to say, Lord, if you get me through this, like if you get me through this hell, because I really felt like I was trapped in hell.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was the end of days. If you get me through this, then I'll serve you the rest of my life. And not just that, I'm not going to rely on any type of government system or anything like that to provide for me and my kids. And there was nothing worse than feeling worthless as a mother watching my two kids stay in a diaper for 3 days.
Wow.
And so I was like, never again will this ever happen to me. If another hurricane come, I want to be able to have the finances to be able to fly out of whatever city I'm in and go to a whole nother part of the country and to be able to protect my kids. And so for me, that was my aha moment. So Katrina was very devastating. It also was a new start, but it
Mm-hmm.
was a devastating point in my life because it was like, what would you do to survive? And at that time, it was whatever it takes,
Wow.
whatever it takes to get up out this city, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
So almost like a blessing in disguise, looking back hindsight, because if Katrina probably wouldn't have happened, you probably wouldn't be who you are today. Is that fair to say?
Yes, absolutely. Well, what happened was when Katrina happened, I think before Katrina happened, I was traveling throughout the United States selling magazines.
Mhm.
So I've always been running from something because I didn't want to like deal with my past and all the pain and hurt that came with it. And I knew if I slowed down, that I would eventually have to deal with everything that I've been running from. So I stayed on the go forever, right? And
Mhm.
then finally, by the age of 19, I already done had two kids. And it was like, I can't travel the road no more, going state to state. The kids are getting sick, it's not healthy. And so I had to put a break on that. And when I ended back up in New Orleans, like 11 months later, Katrina happened.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
so it's crazy because I could have resided anywhere else in the country because I traveled, to more than 50 states. So I could have stayed anywhere else, but I chose to go back home to New Orleans. And then Katrina happened, and it was like, okay, this is where I know I need to start over. I could have ran again. I could have went back and started traveling on the road and things like that. But Katrina forced me to deal with a lot of stuff that I felt like I didn't want to deal with and
Mhm.
or I was afraid of dealing with. Because a lot of us have fears. We just don't talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. That was kind of like your mirror moment.
Yes, it was. Oh,
Yeah,
talk about a mirror
yeah.
moment. I was like, oh my goodness.
Okay, Terica, so the position you're in right now, was this your actual aim in life? Like, do you feel like you've accomplished it?
Uh, so the position I'm in life right now, let me tell you this. I've been selfish up until about 2 years ago, right? I lived my life under a radar. I didn't want nobody to know who Terrica Lynn Smith was. I didn't want nobody to know what I've accomplished. I didn't want to lose anything. I was fearful of going all the way back to where it is I've been running from. And
Mm.
so I lived my life in a shell. I lived myself confined just to my four walls and my safety nets. And so whenever I see someone that needs help or when I start talking to people, and they like, wow, you really helped me. I went back like a turtle into a shell because I didn't want to be exposed and allow people to know, oh, she may have a story to tell, or oh, this, because I've worked so hard to get the reputation that I've gotten, and nothing was given in Lafayette. Trust
Oh
me.
yeah.
And so I didn't want people to think of me as the poor little black girl that came from Hurricane Katrina and feel like they needed to give me a donation or whatever the case may be. And so I hid from what my purpose was in life. I hid from what my calling was because one, I was afraid I was going to lose everything. Two, I didn't want people knowing the truth about me. Surely they wouldn't allow me to be able to represent them. Surely they wouldn't allow me to lead them. And so in my mind, I'm fighting all of this stuff. But when my little cousin got murdered about 3 years ago, and I had just seen her at a funeral, at our grandmother's funeral, and I didn't talk to her because I was so caught up in my own business. I was on the phone making real estate deals, and I was just focused on everything. And that night, she was murdered, and not only her 8-year-old daughter was murdered. And
Yeah.
that's when I had that moment in my life to say, okay, you're selfish. You're
Mm.
selfish because you could have told her something that could have detoured. Now, mind you, what happened to her is not my fault, but what
Right.
I could have spoken to her could have given her life to see something different. And when it came to that, and I said, okay, you brought me here, Lord, at this point in time to deal with this. And I'm questioning you and I'm asking you, how can you allow this to happen to a little girl? And why you didn't give some type of guidance and why you didn't do this? He said, but I told you.
Oh
Wow.
man.
And for me, that was like, okay, no more being selfish. I went on to write the book. I put everything out there. I was transparent. It was uncomfortable. I was depressed. I had to do a sabbatical. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was grieving because, mind you, I never dealt with all of the battles that I talk about in that book. And so, mind you, when I'm writing it, I'm reliving every single moment on top of grieving about my cousin and things like that. So
Mhm.
my life was a whirlwind. And so what when you ask me if I've gotten to a place of where I should be or if I'm happy where I'm at, the answer is no, because I'm still like 10 years behind. And I know that it's still a lot more people that needs to be reached. And that's why I'm on this mission of helping as many people as I can, whether it's through my story, whether it's through my career, whether it's through whatever the case may be. My mission is to be able to help everyone around me. That's why we created the connect, to connect people such as myself, to be able to be a vessel to be able to pour into others' lives.
That is
Mm. Yes.
amazing. And I'm glad you brought up the book. It's called Frightened, Scared, and Alone, right?
No more.
No more. I
I need to
forgot the
get
no
that.
more
I
part.
need to get that book.
Yeah, I can let you borrow my copy if you need it, but you need to buy it for yourself.
Yes.
But when I say the book is juicy from the beginning to the end, I mean the first few pages. I mean it starts off with a bomb. Like I
Mhm,
didn't realize that you went through all that at such a young age. Knowing
mhm.
you personally, but reading that book, oh my god,
Yeah,
like it's oh my god.
yeah.
So guys,
We
you can
actually
find that book.
relaunching it too.
Amazing. I know it's still available on Amazon, right?
It is, but we just did the final like revision of it. So when we first put it out, it was like, all right, get this out here, get it away from me. But
Mm-hmm.
we had it professionally edited, and it's going to be going into bookstores all over the United States. So um,
Amazing.
it's going to be relaunched.
let
So
me
yeah.
let me ask you this about your book. When writing the book, did you feel at some point like, oh man, I can't put this, I may offend somebody, or what my mom is gonna think, or whoever, like what are they gonna think? Like, did you feel like, oh, I'm gonna be airing out dirty laundry, like?
Mhm. Well, what I told, all right, so this is what happened. That's funny you asked me that. Okay. So the week before the book was coming out, June 25th is when it came out. June 30th is when it was all over the place, right? A week before the book came out, um, I got a phone call from my sister telling me that something had happened within my family with my mother and my sister. And my mother did something really evil to my sister, and now she's going to be in jail for years. And she's
Wow.
not going to be able to see her kids or anything. And at that moment, I had so much rage. But in the same instance, my father called me and told me that he would never speak to me again if I shared his story,
Mm.
right?
Oh man.
And so my dad, if you read the book, has always been my hero.
Mhm.
Okay. And so for him to say that, it crushed me to my soul,
Mm.
and all I could do was look up and hear the real father's voice saying, this is your story. And
Mm.
remember the lives that you have to save through this. So I had to continue moving forward with it, and what I realized is I'm not airing their business. This is my story. These are things that happened to me.
Right.
Now, how they played their part in it, that's all on them. Did I name anybody personally? Nope. But if
Mm-mm.
they know it's them, then, they need to deal with their own demons. But I had to get that out. And I can't tell you how many teenagers have written me and messaged me and opened up to me. And even in the midst of the book, stopping someone from committing suicide. So for me,
Whew.
Mm.
it's like a no-brainer that
Right.
this book deserves to be out there for people.
Just that one
Yep.
testimony alone. I mean,
Yep.
that's all that, you know what I mean? Like it
Mhm.
says it all. So like you basically saved the life.
Mhm.
Yes.
you
Yes.
know. So let me ask you this. What advice do you have for others that want to be an entrepreneur but is comfortable with the traditional 9 to 5 or 6 to 6?
Yes. That's a great
12
question
hours,
as well.
child.
Yeah. Let me say this, right? Whenever, all right, I don't know who said you cannot be an entrepreneur and not have a solid foundation of income, right?
Mm.
That you feel comfortable with. Now, when you cut it off at whatever point, okay. But they have a guy that's a part of Eric Thomas' program. He's launching a program called 9 to 5, and he became a millionaire working his 9 to 5, using his income from his 9 to 5 to purchase assets that started creating generational wealth for him, and he has outworked himself within a job. So he no longer does the 9 to 5, but even when he was a millionaire, he still kept the 9 to 5 job. So what I tell people is this, that's just one story, right? I still do my real estate because that's my bread and butter. My
Mhm.
real estate allows me to create other streams of revenue through what it is I'm capable of doing. Now, if your job is just paying your bills and that's it, then that's a mindset thinking, because you believe that your mind in your mind you have to pay everyone else first before you pay yourself.
Mm.
Nobody should be working at a job where they get paid less. Nobody should be working 12 hours a day and at the end of the month they're doing a payday loan,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
That's prison. So what you have to do is you have to change your thinking and how you think, and you have to say, you know what? Screw this creditor, screw that creditor, screw that creditor. I'll catch up with them later. What the worst they can do other than call your phone and say, oh, your credit report is bad. But think about the money that you put out every single month that you can be literally investing back into yourself to create something passive to be able to pay off those creditors. You
Mm-hmm.
won't ever be able to pay off those creditors if you focus on paying them every single month. I tell people when you get your income tax, stop rushing to pay these people. You've been paying them every single month for the past 12 months. Why you want to rush and give them a large sum of money? Money you didn't even know you was getting back. So the advice I have to people that's working a 9 to 5 and a 6 to 6 and whatever the case may be, if that's your now, if that's your temporary to get you to the next level, okay. But if you are working and you're not taking anything from it, then that's not okay. You have to change your thinking. And the hardest part about becoming an entrepreneur is to change your mindset. If you can tell yourself that you can live off of 50% of your income, 75% of your income, then you can tell yourself as an entrepreneur when times get hard, guess what? I can keep on doing it. Oh, boom, I get knocked down. Oh, my child's sick. I can't do this. Boom, you're still going to get through it because your mindset is different. But if you can't even trick your own mind to believe that you have enough income and or that you make enough income to be able to invest in something else, then you won't be successful as an entrepreneur because that's always going to be scary. As an entrepreneur, we take extreme risk. So if
Mm-hmm.
you can't even risk your 9 to 5 and your 6 to 6 with maybe $100 to yourself to go towards passive, then entrepreneurship may not be the direction you want to head in. But if you like, look, let me start off with investing 25% of my income up into me, meaning 25%, you write yourself a check, you get a whole separate banking account, call it an escrow account. And every time you get your check, you take 25% off and you go put it in that account and you put for future investments. And
Mm.
then after a year, you go back and you look at that bank account. You say, all right, how much I got after saving 25% from each check? And then you take those few $1,000s and you say, what can I invest in to create passive income? Not
Mm.
to go buy a pair of tennis shoes, not to go do this. What can I create that's going to generate me more revenue so I can continue doing this? And before you know it, you done created another stream for yourself. The people who you thought was important is not as important as you may have thought they was because guess what? They still are settled for $10 a month.
Yep.
Mm.
Look, you didn't drop so many jewels on here today.
Girl, look,
And
look, she
look,
got me thinking. You know
look,
what?
yeah,
That's
I
a thing.
see
I'm
you.
gonna go
I
ahead on
see your
and do
brain
that.
clicking over there. But like, yeah, we started doing like this 25% thing, paying ourselves off the top like last year. It's probably like the
Hmm.
beginning of last year. And when I tell you it works, it works.
Hmm.
Like those bills, they gonna get paid. They're gonna
Yep.
get paid. You know what I mean? So like, but like you said, it's all about flipping that switch in your mind to tell yourself that you can do it.
Yes.
Because with the situation that we're in, I'm not gonna get into details, but you know my story.
Hmm.
Right now, income is less than what it was last year. And when I say less, I mean like 50% less. But guess what? We're doing more now
Hmm.
than we did when we had 50% more money.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that is the craziest thing. But whenever
Hmm.
you put in your mind that you're going to do something and nothing is going to stop that or deter you from doing that, you find a way
Hmm.
to make it happen.
That's it.
And it starts with
That's it.
personal development. You
Yep.
got to build that belief in your mind and change your mindset in order to make these things happen.
Yes, I agree 110%.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So
Mhm.
I hope y'all listening out there. Take that 25% off your check. Put that in another account.
You know what I'm gonna start
Yep.
doing?
And when that 25% become easy, let me finish up. Then you need to go to 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
And
Mm.
until you at 25% of living on your income, then you'll be ready to invest the rest.
Mm.
Okay.
Jules. Jules.
Well, let me share what I'm gonna do real quick.
Go, girl.
Every time I want to stop to a restaurant, I'm invested. I'm investing the money I was going to spend.
That's a good start because you spend a lot of money on eating out.
Girl, that's
She
disgusting.
eats out great. I mean, lobster,
Hmm.
crab. You know, it ain't like no little dollar burger or fry. This girl
No.
eats
Hmm.
out great.
No, I'm
Yep.
joking. No, but that's something I really need to start doing because that's sad.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes we have to put ourselves on punishments as adults, right? It's okay. We
Mhm.
have to get punished, right? I tell myself all the time, like when it's something I know that I need to do that I don't want to do, I put myself on punishment. Because if my kids are doing something wrong, guess what? They get on punishment. So I don't want me to feel like I'm too old to be on punishment.
I'm
Like, you
going
know
on
what I'm saying?
punishment.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got to
Put
restrict
yourself on
yourself. I do
punishment.
that too.
Yep.
Like sometimes I don't get my nails done.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I may not buy an outfit that I want. And then,
Yep.
when I do things that I know and I accomplish goals, I reward myself. I go do those things that I starve myself from getting and having, like a
Mm-hmm.
massage or a pedicure or something
Yes,
like that.
indeed.
So,
And
yeah.
mine's is Starbucks. Like
Oh,
I put myself on punishment. Like I'm
Girl,
there
she
like
was
three or
cutting
four
up for that.
times a week.
She was cutting up for the Starbucks thing at the other network event that we went to.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
She
Oh,
wanted the
what?
basket.
Girl, yeah.
Yes.
I got it,
Yes.
though.
Yeah. And you didn't even take me out.
Look, I still have the card. I'm still holding on to
I mean, my
it.
birthday is next month.
I
I'm just
know, I
saying.
Hint,
know.
hint.
I'm just
She
saying.
putting that out
A
there
little
now.
hint, hint.
So, what inspired you to keep going when things seems a little tough?
Oh, man, these are some real good questions.
Whoop
Yeah.
whoop.
So let me say this, right? Generational wealth.
Mhm.
I know I want my kids and their kids and their kids to never have to go through what we've been through. So if I can get through these generational curses right now that I know that I've been called to do, then these won't be curses and strongholds on my children and their next children, right?
Mhm.
And so for me, it's not about just finances, right? It's about the mindset. It's about, how you help others and how you do for things. Like I'm breaking that crab in the barrel type mindset within my own family. Like, no, it's okay to build somebody else up that's with you, and
Mhm.
and for my kids, no, it's not okay for you to just be living from paycheck to paycheck. This is how you invest. This is how you make money. And so for me, generational wealth is what keeps me going. So when I'm tired and I'm weary, I realize how many people I know is counting on me to be able to get through this. Because if I can get through this, then Tarika, Taya, Layla, and Sheldon is not going to have to go through this. They may have their own storms, and I'm not saying they won't, but they'll know how to deal with whatever battles that like curses we're breaking right now. They'll know how to deal with that. So in the midst of a battle, they won't get defeated. They'll be able to stand up, look the enemy in the face, and say, "Move out my way. This is how we moving."
Yeah.
And so for me, that's the most important thing. So everything I do, all the long days, all the long hours, all the people I'm talking to, all the relationships I'm building, everything that we set up is strategically planned for our next generation. It ain't for me. It ain't for my husband, Albert. It ain't for our parents above us. They had a chance and opportunity. They ain't do nothing with it. Okay. Now
Mhm.
we got to do something,
Exactly.
you know?
We
So
we we
now,
becoming the older generation.
yeah. Yep. So what I realized, and I talked about this on live the other day, is we only here for a certain period of time, and if we don't do what we're called to do, then our kids will be the next steps to have to deal with this. And you don't
Mm.
know what state of mind that they will be in, but you cannot leave this earth thinking that you don't want to lose your kids to something you know that you could have dealt with, but you didn't.
Mm. I ain't never thought about it in that context. Never.
Yep.
Never. Now let me ask you this. Let's talk to the people that's listening. Tell them how important it is to have other people around you that you can learn from, feed off of, such as a mentor, and what does that do for you?
Oh, so, all right. So let me tell y'all a story. 2 years ago, I went to a growth conference in Las Vegas, 10x2,
Mhm.
and in at that conference, they had a lot of amazing speakers, but one of them, he just blew my mind away. It was something about this dude that I could not shake off of me. And everybody I was with, our whole team was like, "Man, yo, that dude boring." And I'm like, I'm glued to him. And I hear what they saying around me, but it ain't bigger than what he's saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? This man
Mhm.
said he went to the freaking moon without permission. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, how do you go to the moon without permission?
Right.
You know? And so for me, that right there was like another aha moment of me saying, okay, I don't want to keep asking for things. I want to just go do things. And I purposely sought after him for whole year straight. I liked every single post. I commented. I inboxed. I did everything I possibly could. And one day I posted. I said, I know you see me all the time. I said, but my dream is to be able to network and connect with someone like you and have a cup of coffee or even tea if you like it.
Mhm.
He responded, he said, it would be my pleasure. I
Wow.
almost dropped the phone. So then I'm like, what? So then, now you know me, I don't just give up then. So I'm like, okay, all right. He talked to me. He said it'll be his pleasure.
He know
So I'm
I
like, all right.
exist.
Yes, he know I exist, right? After all those posts, he probably think I'm a stalker and shit,
Yeah.
right? So I go and I'm like, all right, I know this dude is worth over $1 billion or whatever the case may be. Okay.
Mhm.
And no way would a billionaire just talk to a little bitty old me. Like, I'm nobody,
So you
right?
say.
Yes, so I say, right? It was his pleasure to have a cup of coffee or tea with me, right?
Mhm.
And so we actually started talking more and more. And recently, he has committed to stream via to our first annual growth conference,
Mm.
which
Woo!
is huge.
Yes.
Okay, like extremely huge, because I would have never thought in a million years that he would take the time out of his day and to be able to come and speak with us and share some of the same nuggets he shared at the 10X conference. And if people are not careful, they're going to miss it, just like they may
Mhm.
miss why it's important to have relationships like this. So for me, it's extremely important because I just increase my network from millionaires to
To
billionaires.
billionaire.
Go
Woo!
ahead.
You get what I'm saying? So now I'm not just ordinary, I'm extraordinary. And so
Mhm.
Mhm.
if I would have never took those steps, if I would have never took those measures and I would have just gave up on connecting with people, then he wouldn't be speaking at this conference for us. But
Mm.
on the other hand, being I was so committed to it and I stayed consistent with it, he responded, and now we have the pleasure of being able to hear him speak at our conference. So for me, it's extremely important to build up everyone around you, but not just build them up. Invest with them, like contribute with them, share in whatever it is that they're doing if you're passionate about it and if you truly believe in it. Now, some people got ideas galore, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the ones that are out here really trying and they just can't get a step forward because they keep getting hit back 3 times, then maybe you can kind of go and walk with them along the way and guide them along that path. So for me, it's extremely important to make valuable connections, and it's
Yes.
important to have trustworthy relationships.
Yeah, yeah, and I like to tell people all the time that building that like you said, that network, a lot of the times it's more valuable than money.
Mhm.
More
Yep.
more viable and more valuable than money. Like, I'm just
Mhm.
learning this. Like, I made a promise to myself at like the end of last year around December time. I was like, I'm gonna meet people, I'm gonna step outside my box, because I'm real reserved. I don't, I
Mhm.
talk to who I talk to. And I was
Mhm.
Yep.
like, I'm gonna step outside my comfort zone. I'm gonna just make it my business to talk to people, tell them what I do, tell them who I am, and see where I can help. So that's where that aspire, inspire, important to others saying came from. And since I started doing that and showing up to, y'all monthly connect meetings, I've made some viable connections, not just with branding, but internet and partnerships, because of that
Mhm.
in this short period of time. So I'm super, super excited about that.
Yes.
So now that we're talking about the Connect, let's talk about it. It's called the Connect Social, guys. Yes, I'm claiming it. It's gonna be the biggest networking event that Lafayette, Louisiana has ever witnessed. It's
Mhm.
happening this month, March 30th. And what inspired this phenomenal event that we are so, so, so super excited to be a part of?
This event has definitely taken me out of my shell. You remember how I said earlier in the interview how I wanted to be under the radar?
Mm.
Like, I didn't really want nobody to know me. You remember when I first started Cachet and I allowed people to think Brittany was the broke? I didn't care about that.
Yeah.
you know, I was completely okay with being in the shadows.
Mhm.
But the connect was birthed because I got to a point in my career where I needed direction and I needed help. And I wasn't afraid to ask for it, but nobody was willing to give it. And I didn't know the right people to go and talk to and ask. And so I took out several brokers and I said, hey, I'll pay for you something to eat and some coffee if I can just pick your brain because I want to grow my company. It's my passion to be able to help my team grow to another level, but
Mhm.
I can't help them grow if I'm not growing.
Mhm.
Right. And so you had a few people that come out and meet with me, whatever the case may be, but nobody gave me valuable nuggets for me to be able to build myself up. And so what I took from that was how many other people are dealing with what I was going through. It took for me to reach out to a whole coach in a whole nother state to be able to, who led, one of the largest Remax chains in the United States, to be able to give me new ideas and new opportunities and things like that. And I
Mm.
said, wow, if I can be able to help people that got the same pain points as me, then I think we'll be able to grow together, not just change the block, but we'll be able to invest in the block, change the block, grow the block, invest in the block, and do everything it is that we desire. Because people just starting a car business, they don't know what to do next, right?
Right.
Some people looking to be in the banking business, they don't know where to go get money from. So many people got so many different things that they're looking to do, but they don't have the right connections. And so the connect was birthed off of not having enough connections and being able to pull a group of people together to be able to build those type of connections.
Mm. Yes. That is amazing, guys. So, where can anyone that's hearing this for the first time go to purchase a ticket?
They can purchase tickets. They can go to Cachet Real Estate office on 412 West University, and they can pick up a ticket. They can reach out to Elena Gotch.
Yeah. Reach out to me, y'all.
Yes, and get a ticket. And they can go on Eventbrite and type in the Connect Networking and Entrepreneurship Social, and they'll be able to get tickets from there as well.
Y'all, when I tell you this event is gonna be phenomenal, we're gonna have comedians, we're gonna have entrepreneurs, we're gonna have inspiring speakers. We're
Yes.
gonna have great food, we're gonna have vendor tables, guys, live music, entertainment, swinging out. I heard.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
it's gonna be a evening of fun, learning, and most importantly, growth and connections.
Yes.
So, in closing, what is the one thing you'd say to inspire someone that's listening today?
One thing I would tell somebody is, and it's so cliche, but it is so true. Don't listen to the voices inside your head that's telling you that it's not time right now and that you're not good enough and that this would never work. And people are going to think like this about you, and people are going to say that. The truth of the matter is, people saying that no matter what, whether you're doing something or not. The truth
Mm,
of the matter is, it's going to get done whether you do it or not, right? It won't be done as well as you can do it, but it's still going to get done,
right.
And so if you continuously talk yourself out of opportunities, then you'll never be one to capitalize on any type of opportunity that may be placed in front of your face. So don't overthink and think it and just go for it. Like just believe in yourself enough to do it.
Wow. That is so true and so powerful, girl.
Yeah.
Well, y'all be sure to follow Terrica on Facebook at Terrica Lynn Smith and on Instagram at Young Female Mogul. Thanks so much for joining us today. It was truly a treat having you here on the show.
Yes. Thanks for
I
having me.
I personally want to publicly thank you from the bottom of my heart for keeping me inspired and
Oh,
entrusting me with business opportunities, but most importantly, mentoring and being a good friend. We
yes.
love you here at One Sound One Scene.
I love
Have
you
a
guys too.
great rest of your day. It was super,
Yes.
super inspiring, and I'm pumped.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Oh,
Yes.
and one more thing before we go.
Hmm.
Y'all, we so excited about Spit That. We got
Yes.
Spit That and Spit That Kids, right? We partner
Yeah.
up with Park 21 and Park Row.
Hmm.
So we appreciate you here at One Sound for allowing us to have that partnership and offer us that platform to be able
Absolutely.
to invest into the independent music community and the arts in general. So
I'm
thank you.
excited to see what we birth out of here. I'm
I know.
excited.
I'm super stoked. Like, I dream about this.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank
Well,
you for
thank
allowing us to be a part
you.
of it.
We love you. Mwah, mwah.
Love y'all too.
Have a good
Bye.
day. Well, guys, this is the end of this segment. Up next, we have a song from Bunny Sun Slugger titled Keep Living. You can find him on Instagram at Bunny Sun Slugger and on Facebook at Markel Edmond. Be sure to look for his album Flying Salsa Living on YouTube and other online platforms. Now, guys, just a heads up, this song does have some profanity, but this message is so profound in my personal opinion, so I had to play it for y'all. Stay tuned.
Slug, slug, slug. La. Sometimes I sit and wonder, close my eyes, go Stevie Wonder. Drifting away, float into space, my mind ponder. Every time I'm doing right, the devil try to pull me under. But when I'm doing wrong, he ain't fuck with me, remember. When I was broke, oh, you ain't fuck with me, remember. When I be doing good, still don't fuck with me, remember. Numb to the world, heart cold as feel like November. So please don't piss me off, turn January to December. But that'll make me weak, back to the beginning, you remember. Trying to stay positive in my environment. It's hectic, lost so many niggas. Now it's blood in the section, took my niggas from us. Now it's blood through the section. Niggas quick to use that iron like they forgot how to fight. Another black mother, a child doing life. Said niggas quick to use that iron like they forgot how to fight. Another black mother, a child without life. Dying must be easy, it's really hard living black. Boys end up in the graveyard or prison to them black bars that's still lost. Between the two, man, it really ain't a difference. Keep living. Dying must be easy, it's really hard living black. Boys end up in the graveyard or prison to them black bars that's still lost. Between the two, man, it really ain't a difference. Keep living. They always ask me how I know, cause I was lost just like you. Hang with your partners, wait till you see how you lose you a few. And it hurts you to see their face on the news. All the tables turned, they retaliating from what some dudes done to you. You probably saying, man, that's fucked up. It's hard, but it's fair. But plus you said you wanted real, so live one here. You want no money, they stepping, that shit messing with your ears. That shit playing with your head, now your vision get impaired. Slug loot the parks, I'm just trying to keep the window clear. Cause you're nothing when you're gone, so do something while you're here. Something they don't wanna hear. In this world, being a man, something these little niggas fear. Live my life up to the fullest, I got nothing else to lose. Living, why would I be scared? Never. Yeah. Said I got nothing left to lose, nigga, why would I be scared? Dying must be easy, it's really hard living black. Boys end up in the graveyard or prison to them black bars that's still lost. Between the two, man, it really ain't a difference.
We hope you enjoyed the music segment. If you're vibing with the songs featured on today's show, be sure to show support to those artists. Support means a like, a follow, a share, a stream, or a comment.
We started promoting Spit That last week. The first show for the adults is April 12th, and the kids show is April 19th. And I know some of you guys may be wondering exactly what it is and why we started it. Well, One Sound, One Scene, and Strategic Peoples partnered up with Park 21 and Park Row to host this weekly event. Spit That is a good old-fashioned weekly talent competition. It's kind of like American Idol meets the Apollo, but with a twist that we wanted to bring to the city. When I tell y'all we are advocating on behalf of our independent artists here in the city to create serious opportunity for you guys, that's just what we're doing, and it starts with Spit That. So you guys have to show up and show out. Please don't make us eat our words. If anybody believe in the talent that the city has to offer, we definitely do. So, everyone knows that music is near and dear to our hearts, and we wanted to have an ongoing event, not only to showcase the amazing talent that the city has to offer, but to do it in a way that's fun and positive, where people can come and have an amazing time, and to encourage and stimulate independent artistry. And of course, we couldn't do this and not include our kids. So every other week, we will have a show for the kids, and the kids has 3 categories of judging. There will be a kids category, a tween category, and a teen category. So each age group has their own thing. Age groups to perform is from age 5 to 17, guys. And the categories include rap, hip hop, R&B, poetry, and comedy. And for the kids, it's all of that plus dance. So for more details about signing up and competing for the cash prize, head over to Eventbrite now and look for Spit That for the adults and Spit That Kids. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Spit That and on Instagram at Spit That Official. And that's DAT. That. So be on the lookout for the event on Facebook. For anyone interested in signing up, it's only $20 to register for the adults and $10 for the kids to register. And for anyone who wants to attend, it's only $5 at the door for both events. So bring your family and friends. If you guys have any questions about signing up, feel free to DM us on any social platform. Guys, you don't want to miss this one. More to reveal as the show gets closer.
If you like what we're doing and want to be a part of our movement and support the show, please go to onesoundonescene.buzzsprout.com. Click on the episode. Under the player, there are icons. Be sure to hit the heart icon to the far right or go directly to patreon.com/onesoundonescene. There you will get exclusive info on what is offered to our Aspire, Inspire, and Pour Into Other supporters and how your support will benefit what we do. We appreciate you and thank you for any level of support.
There will be no music business tip this week. Be sure to tune in to next week's show. The music tip will be the importance of a music distribution service and what royalties are paid from it, so you don't want to miss that. If you're an independent artist with positive music and would like your music featured on our up-and-coming show, be sure to email us an MP3 file of sample-free radio versions of your original music and your social links to onesoundonescene@gmail.com. Please note that any music that does not meet all the criteria mentioned will not be featured on the show.
If you have an inspiring story and would like to be a guest or to have your business or creations featured on our show, please hit the heart icon at the bottom of this video. If you're using the Buzzsprout platform, YouTube listeners, be sure to go to patreon.com/onesoundonescene if you're interested and need more details.
Let's get social and be a part of our community. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at onesoundonescene to stay in the know about what's up and coming. If you like hanging with us, be sure to tune in every Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. for new episodes at onesoundonescene.buzzsprout.com or on YouTube at onesoundonescene. Be sure to look out for us on other podcast platforms such as Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and more.
Well, this concludes episode 6 of our show. It's been super fun. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to One Sound, One Scene podcast. Closing us out is a powerful song with a heavy message. So please pay attention when listening to this song. It's from King Rice titled Put It in a Book. You can find King Rice on Instagram and at KR_Traficante and Facebook at KR King. Always remember, if you help enough people get what they want, you will always get what you want. Aspire, inspire, and pour into others. Until next time, folks, one sound, one scene, we are out.
Peace.
Wanna keep it from a nigga? Just put it in a book. It's best to keep them dancing, put some jigging in a hook. Let's offer him a meal, tell him glorify the streets. They broke so they gon' do it, they don't care about their peeps. Wanna keep it from a nigga? Just put it in a book. It's best to keep them dancing, put some jigging in a hook. Let's offer him a meal, tell him glorify the streets. They broke so they gon' do it, they don't care about their peeps. Not sure where I should start at, I question where y'all heart at. Division in this country so bad, I know y'all saw that. I had to flip the channel cause the news is so depressing. The future's looking dark and everybody out here stressing. The president's divisive, he's jacking up the prices. He's cutting our health care, got people feeling lifeless. These racists getting bolder, now they showing us how they really feel. Make America great again, that little slogan sealed the deal. Kaepernick done woke up the world by getting on one knee. The NFL is hypocrites, at first he was just one deep, but now they holding hands and everybody on the same page. Slave master laughing at them, look at all these damn slaves. Some call them some SOBs, that's what it took to make y'all kneel. When the original protest for the innocent brothers getting killed by crooked cops, ever heard of Willie Lynch? Well, I could tell y'all better, I read this in his letter. Wanna keep it from a nigga? Just put it in a book. It's best to keep them dancing, put some jigging in a hook. Let's offer him a meal, tell him glorify the streets. They broke so they gon' do it, they don't care about their peeps. Wanna keep it from a nigga? Just put it in a book. It's best to keep them dancing, put some jigging in a hook. Let's offer him a meal, tell him glorify the streets. They broke, so they gon' do it. They don't care about their peace. I truly believe that all these things happening for a reason. Before it all get better, we gon' suffer for a season. See, God don't make mistakes, he gotta manifest his plans. If we humble ourselves and pray, then he will truly heal the land. I'd rather believe in dying, find out that he don't exist, than to find out he's the truth, but my name not on his list. That's one reason I ain't got no deal. Never sell my soul for fame. Even if I sign, I'll still be rapping about the same thing. They ain't fitting the puppet master me, I feel like Tupac. They gon' have to kill me. Let me move on to my new spot. Illuminati real, that's the elite, where all the money gone. Jay-Z got a billy, now he hating on the money phone. Anybody that got a few dollars, they can lead y'all. Man, people saying you strictly to deceive y'all. Sometimes I can't believe y'all. The Jews got him paid. They asked him how he felt about his people and he said, wanna keep it from a nigga? Just put it in a book. It's best to keep him dancing, put some jigging in a hook. Let's offer him a meal, tell him glorify the streets. They broke, so they gon' do it. They don't care about their peeps. Wanna keep it from a nigga? Just put it in a book. It's best to keep him dancing, put some jigging in a hook. Let's offer him a meal, tell him glorify the streets. They broke, so they gon' do it. They don't care about their peeps. Trill spill. I did this one for my people. KR Trap for Conte.